Hey, how you doing? If you're in business, sales is very important, but a lot of business owners, not very good at sales, are they? So on this, it's part of the show that we did for the business show. Oh yeah. I spoke to John Molyneux. He's into his sales. He's a salesman, but he teaches people sales right through from cold calling to sealing that deal. So if you're in business and you're getting a bit frustrated, you need to listen to the show and also connect with John. All the show notes will be in the show notes. All the links to what he does. And we're playing Advert partway through the show, which might interest you. You'll remember it from back in the day, and it's really funny. So anyway, let's get on with the show.
Has your business recently grown and suddenly you realise that you need a bit more structure around your staffing issues? Would you like to outsource your HR services for a fraction of the cost of employing someone? At Sage Green HR, we can create a bespoke solution to your HR needs. Our first consultation to determine your needs is free, and options vary from an annual retained contract to individually priced projects. Whether you need contracts of employment, support for a disciplinary hearing, leadership and management training, or help redefining your culture and values, Sage Green HR can offer you a solution. Please call Tanya on 07986 544 694 or email tbrink@sagegreen.com for an initial free consultation meeting.
The Duggystone Show.
So let's see if our caller is there. Let's see if the system works. Are you there, caller?
Yes, it's John Molyneux, the Sales Samurai. Thanks for having me on Duggystone.
Yeah, I'm glad you said your second name because I'm dyslexic and your new names mess me up. And I'd have you could have been all sorts of stuff, Moulet or something. Yeah, it could have been anything. So I'm glad you did that for me, mate. Appreciate it. So,
yeah, it's fine. A lot of people do get that wrong, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. They get my name wrong as well every time, so I use my wife's name when I order a taxi or book a restaurant or something or a hotel. It's easier. They go,
I'll just stick to Kirk.
Yeah, well, yeah, even the Kirk bit they get wrong. But right, so
Yeah.
So today because this is really interesting because we're going to be talking about sales, aren't we, today, which is business owners. That's what they need to do, and I think a lot of business owners are quite reluctant to do sales, aren't they?
They are. There's some sort of it's this sort of horror pictures people get about it, like the sleazy salesman and all that sort of stuff. I'm trying to open people's eyes to it a little bit. You can't sort of steer away from it because it's part of every business. It's part of everybody's lives. People sell themselves on a daily basis, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Well, they do without even knowing it, don't they? So what's well? We've not got long. We've got about 15 minutes or so to have a chat. Well, it depends how long we want to carry on for. But so what do you provide for people, or what do you see? Because obviously you've mentioned that about people are scared of it. Why do you think people are scared? You're the sleazy salesman, but how do people get past that image onto actually selling? Because if you're in business, you need to sell, don't you? You need to sell your stuff.
Yeah, you do indeed. You just have to sort of overcome the fear of rejection. I think that's the main thing that people sort of battle with to start with. And I mean, I did myself. Everybody that starts off in the sales world is going to have that sort of conflict of interest where they're thinking, oh, people are just going to say no, or if you're calling people up, they're just going to hang up. Or I mean, I've been doing door-to-door sales for 5 or 6 years solid. And you do get a lot of doors slammed in your face, and you do get a lot of negative feedback. But it's just it's just a numbers game. You can't be. Yeah. It's not a personal attack.
Yeah, you brave man. That's something I would not like to do, is knock on doors, but it's how you get round and do stuff, don't you? And I was trying to be pleasant to people that come to my door. You know, it frustrates me when you just all new faucet, fascia's done, and someone knocks on the door and says, "Oh, I'm selling fascias and windows." And like, have a look outside, man. It's just been done, you numpty. Why are you knocking on my door, you fool? Yeah. Go away. Anyway, but yeah, it's. You're right, and I think, I don't know if you do the same, but someone said to me a while back, and this is a good way of thinking about it, is you get het up about how many sales you've made, but actually what you should be worried about and be pleased about is the number of contacts you've made, or calls. So if you've got a target of ringing 5 or 10 people today to try and sell something, and you ring 5 to 10 people, brilliant, you've done it. You know what I mean? And if you get sales out of it, great. But I think that is that the sort of approach you take, or have you got a different approach?
Yeah, I mean, it's literally the more it is a numbers game. There's no science to it or anything. It's literally the more people you speak to, the more you're going to sell. It's as simple as that. So if you are doing phone calls and you make 10 phone calls, there's a good chance one of them will either buy or follow up with another call or show some interest. So you just have to get used to the rejection side of it and get over that, because it pays off.
Yeah. And I think what a lot of people struggle with is same as, I don't know, but I won't name people's names, but I'm talking to someone, I've just recently set up, so really I can't really do that or charge that. And we struggle with it for a bit on the station, because we're building. We're not a Radio 1, we're not a Virgin Radio. We're growing, and we're organically growing, and we've got a great product. And then I think sometimes you undersell your product, and then people have suspicion that your product's too cheap. So, if you charge, I don't know, whatever it is, X, and really you should be charging Y, people are a bit suspicious about it. I think there needs to be a self-confidence in what you're doing, doesn't there? How do people gain that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And can I just say, I love what you're doing with the show, and I hope it goes from strength to strength if you're relatively new. Yeah, I like what you're doing. But you have to look at what your product is, compare it to other products in the same market, see what they're pricing at, but don't go too far underneath because people seem to think that people will generally go for a cheaper option. They won't. If you can compete with the other price or the price tags in your market, or even slightly higher, people will steer towards that. Not necessarily the cheapest option, is it?
No, you're right, because I recently had a new boiler fitted in the house. Unfortunately, I had to buy one, and the guy that did it was not the cheapest. He was slightly more expensive than the guy that came along who was trying to knock £300 or £400 off. And actually, I went with the guy that was slightly dearer because I liked him. He was his own business, he was local, and I just believed that he was going to do a good job for me. And I knew that if I needed him, he was only up the road, well, not relatively, just up the road. He wasn't a big company, and and there's advantages, disadvantages to that, but I know if I ring him up today, he'd come out. So that was the criteria for me. I wanted a quality job doing, and I wanted to like that person. So I think that's a good, from my own personal point of view, that's a good message, isn't it? People don't always buy on price tag. They buy on the value and what they're looking for, really.
Yeah, you've hit on a great point there as well, Kirk. People buy from people, don't they? You can have the best products in the world, but if you're not showing any sort of customer service or you just want to get rid of that product, that doesn't look very good for you, does it? But if you show you genuinely care about people and you're going to follow up with them and potentially sell them more things in the future, that's the type of people you want to work with, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure, and it's good to talk to you. It's good from our point of view because we're obviously a business and we're on sale. When I say we're relatively young, we're running up to year 3. So for me, that I class that as quite a young business rather than a well-established one. And it takes time to build your product up, build your service up, and I believe we're in a position now where we're ultimately proud of what we're doing and what we're producing and what we're putting out to the world. So yeah, then that means that if people want to come on board, then they should be proud of passing some cash over, as it were. Do you know what I mean?
Well, exactly. Yeah. The thing is, people are happy to pay for something that's valuable, isn't it? Going back to what we said about not always buying the cheapest, it's like, I'll give you an example. If you're in the supermarket, you don't always buy the sort of, say you're going to get some margarine or something, you don't always buy the cheapest, lowest brand. You might get Flora or Clover or something. Yeah. You don't always go for the bottom. So when you come into pricing your products, try and be competitive.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think some people fall into the trap of mirroring someone else's. I mean, back in the day, I used to work in a shop, I used to be a butcher. And one of the things that I learned when I was at college for that was, don't just replicate the butcher's prices down the road. So if he's selling mince for a pound, doesn't, or half a kilo, that is, people, in it, 500 grams. If don't replicate that, because he might be selling it at a loss. So just because someone else is selling that price doesn't mean they might not have done the due diligence and worked out what it costs to gain a customer, what it costs to produce something, how long it takes you to actually do that activity. You might even be making a loss when you think you're actually, just to get the cash, basically.
Absolutely, yeah. So I would definitely suggest being competitive, and like you say, be confident in yourself. Don't underestimate what your value is.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely, I agree with you 100%. So about closing, so can you take us through a bit of a process? What you believe is the best way to start approaching stuff?
Yeah, what do you mean when you actually? Well, the sales is a process. You don't just jump straight in and close deals. A lot of the time, you have to warm to people. You call it prospecting, where you're actually finding potential new customers or clients. So you start off with that process of there's many different ways you can do it. You can prospect using social media. You can prospect as you're doing using radio. I mean, I've got a podcast as well, so that's another tool that you can use for prospecting. There's many different ways you can find new. I mean, I use social media as well. LinkedIn's a brilliant platform for finding potential clients and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I've just before you came on air, I've had a phone call this morning from someone from LinkedIn, and I've not used LinkedIn a lot. I've used it for years, but I've obviously favoured the Facebook and stuff. I'm trying to move a bit away more from Facebook because of various reasons, but LinkedIn, I've had a real good conversation about someone today because I've been posting about podcasting, putting stuff out there, some hints and some tips. He's going to come in 2 weeks' time and do a one-to-one podcasting course with us. And then ultimately wants to set a studio up in his business to. So great, yeah. So it does work, and that was a conversation. Let's have a chat. Let's talk about things. No pressure. That's how I do it anyway. It's like I just want to have a conversation with someone. If it's not right for them, I'm not going to try and shove it down the throat. It's, this is what we do. This is how we do it. This is what we expect you to achieve at the end of it. What's your concerns? What you're trying to get, and then are you happy with that? Do you want to talk about doing something or not? And I'm more than happy for people to turn around and say, yeah, no, we don't want to carry on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Have you shared any of your stuff on LinkedIn? Any of your episodes or anything like that? That might be an idea. Yeah,
I do share my episodes on LinkedIn, and what we've done with them as well, which is well, talking about me and you're talking about sales, but I don't just put the podcast out saying listen to this episode now. We actually turn it into more of a blog with information on it, so that this show will be on a pod blog, we call them. So it'll have information about you, it'll have links to you, it might have a bit about the playlist on, it might have a bit about sales, whatever. And it's more a different way of doing it rather than just going, here's me latest podcast, because 9 times out of 10 people aren't interested, are they? A bit like you, whatever you. So what do you sell then, John? What's your bag? Or are you in sales to tell people how to sell?
Well, yeah, to be honest, I am steering towards that a little bit, is the actual sales training. I do provide sort of strategy calls and stuff like that if people are looking for that. But I'm a salesman through and through. I'm selling door-to-door windows now. I do that every day. And I also sell Amazon training packages online as well. So that's through phone. I do phone calls for that as well. So yeah, I've got my hand in a few pies, if you want to put it that way, fingers in pies.
Brilliant. We might have to have a chat after the show. Need a good salesperson.
Yeah. Everybody does. That's why it's so key to everybody's business. Everybody needs somebody that sells, don't they?
Yeah, and it's so. And I see a lot of people, and there's not, in our business, not everyone in our business will sell because they do their own thing within the business, and I get that. I fully understand it, and I don't sell. I'm just putting my stuff out there, and I'll talk to people, and if they're interested, I'll take it to the next level. But yeah, every business needs to get their head around selling this product, don't they?
Of course. I would suggest to anybody that's a business owner, whether it's small or large, should have some kind of sales training, whether it's something they've bought, obviously a decent one like Jordan Belfort or whoever's big in the sales world with a high quality sales training program. They should invest in that 100%.
Yeah, definitely. And yes, I think it's key. So is it something you offer that? Are you solely just doing your sales? So you've come on today to talk about the sales, but do you train people? Is that one of the services you offer? or not?
Yeah, like I say, at the moment I'm offering strategy calls. I mean, if people want to talk to me about it, they can book a slot. I have a calendar link, and they can book a half-hour icebreaker, I call it, to see if it's something I can help them with. But I am actually in the process of creating my own course. I have got a business partner in the States, and he wants me to create my own training course. So I'll go through all the stages of the sales process in that course. So I'm going to be starting that as of this week.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's brilliant, brilliant. So will you send me all the links for that, or where can people get hold of you if they want to get hold of you?
Yeah, well, at the moment, we're still in the process with creating a website for the course and everything. But at the moment, people can get hold of me via I have a Facebook group that's got about 300 people in it. So it's not massive. It's not ClickFunnels or anything like that, but it's a decent Facebook group with some good quality people in there that share some really good content and add a lot of value. So I'm really pleased with that. So that's one way. I do have my podcast show as well. I mean, if people are interested in hearing what I'm doing, I interview a lot of different entrepreneurs and speakers and authors and stuff on that. So,
brilliant. You might have another guess, but yeah, that's great, mate. And it's good that you're doing a podcast and that's what we're really pushing at the minute, our podcast, because if people for sales, it's a good way of getting. I hate all the terminologies, the sales funnels and all that, but it's a good way of generating a sales funnel. You do it because you try to impart some information or some ability that you've got or a message, and it's a great way for people to connect to you. Go, actually, I want to know a bit more about John. I want to know a bit more about whatever they're doing. So what's the podcast called? Did you say that, or did I miss?
It's called The Success Breeds Success Show.
Oh, cool. And is that on all platforms? Is that on
well, at the moment, it's on Spotify, and I'm just in the that's the main one. It's on. You can get it on SoundCloud and a couple of others. I'm just in the process of getting it onto iTunes as well. iTunes is a big platform, and I'm also looking into getting it on Google Play as well. So yeah, in the next few weeks, it should be available on most platforms. But at the moment, you can find it on Spotify. That's the main one, and SoundCloud. Yeah,
we like Spotify. I like Spotify myself because that's obviously where a lot of people are going for their music, their downloads, etc. So we have two podcasts on there, one which is mine and one which is the station's. It's a good platform. But you're right to have it on different platforms because not everybody. An artist sent me a link yesterday to one of the tracks on iTunes Music. I don't have iTunes Music, so I couldn't listen to it. So it's like, you've got to be careful. Don't just put it in one place. Get it spread around because you need these touch points, don't you, for people?
You do. And even though I'm not a big fan of Apple, there are a lot of huge Apple fans out there with iPhones and iTunes and stuff like that. And the beauty of iTunes is people can review your podcast on there, whereas they can't on all the other platforms. You can't get a review on Spotify.
Yeah, true.
So if you want to get the reviews for your podcast, I'd suggest getting it on iTunes as well if it's not already on there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I have mine on iTunes. I have it on about 10 different places from the host I use, so more about that. Yeah, cool, mate. Absolutely wonderful. So it sounds like you've been in... you've not been doing buy one, get one free, have you? Buy one, get... So you're a double glazing salesman, is that what you do?
It's funny you just said that because the company is Safe Style UK and it is the advert.
Is it? I love that. Honestly, I never knew that. You buy one, you get one free. When the advert first came out, I thought, what the hell is this? But guess what? 10 years later, I'm still in you buy one, you get one free, don't you? So
that was the best advertising campaign ever.
Wasn't it? With his big jacket on and everything. I'm going to put for people that don't know the advert. I'm going to put that on the podcast so people can see it. You buy one, you get one free. You buy one, you get one free. Yeah, buy one, and you're bloody brilliant, mate. So you're the as sales go. You must be only one up from a Jehovah's Witness when you knock on someone's door, mustn't you? You've got to be. You can only be slightly above a Jehovah's Witness, surely.
To be honest with you, you have to be thick-skinned because you don't get a very warm welcome. But the thing is, I've got the right personality for it because I'll just have a laugh with them. I have a good way of just like making them laugh, even if they're not interested. I go, as I might say, yeah, it's John from Windows and Doors. You can tell straight away in like the first 10 seconds. And they'll laugh at you. They'll just start smiling, and you're like, "You don't want it, do you?"
Yeah.
Like, no. Says, what about a conservatory? You look like a conservatory kind of guy to me. So you just make it humorous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's I was gonna say so if you're successful in that, right? And this is me, I don't, if you're successful in that and you're making a living out of it, you're a bloody good salesman. For you to do that, you must be bloody great. Now, just as we was talking, I've just been away doing some, because this is sort of stuff I don't have a massive production team, but they found this for me. So I'll put the studio speakers up so you can hear it, and we're just going to play something now. So just bear with me, yeah? Just bear with me. Come on, it's going to work. It's going to work. This just hang.
Remember the bog off offer from SafeStar UK? Well, it's back!
You know the one. You buy one, you get one free. I said you buy one, you get one free. Right now, for every single window door that you buy, I'll give you another one absolutely free.
And you can still buy now and pay next year. Plus, there's flexible monthly payments to suit you. And SafeStar are still giving you free fitting.
Trust me, it's free fitting. So, call 0800 106 107. I said 0800 106 107 now!
The best double glazing.
I said you buy one, you get. It's not just that. Hang on, it's not just that. It's the cheesy. Oh, 800. You mean the whole thing was just total cheese on overload, wasn't it? Cheese overload. That was.
But it's like you say, it's 15 years old that, and people still know it.
Yeah, no, you buy one and he's got his big jacket on and everything. I could if I'd already even found that clip, I could see him with his head, but because he's not even. You look at him. Is he the owner? That's the owner, isn't it? Is he the owner? I can't remember if he was the owner or not.
You can see him pushing it. He pushes each window frame down as he's going along, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. But he's like, he's got his jacket on. Looks like brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I love that. They should advertise on Duggystone Radio because you buy one, you get one free. We'll be all over. That's the type of company we love. Do you know what I mean?
You should give him a ring. Give head office a ring and say you can advertise your SafeStar UK windows with me.
And you know what I'm going to say? If you buy one advert, you can have one free. Yeah, I said you buy one, you have one free. I'm going to do that. I just think it'll go down well. I'm like, oh no, not again. We've heard this crap before. Yeah. I think I will actually. I'll ring him. In fact, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go knock on the door.
Yeah, do that.
Oh, absolutely amazing, mate. Because that is brilliant. And they didn't know before you come on the show that's who you work for. So that's just absolutely perfect. And I will be sharing that advert. I'm going to put it on our Facebook page in a bit as well. And you did mention about having 300 odd and not having a massive Facebook group. I think that's brilliant. I think people are too hot up on numbers. We've got something like 2,500, 3,000 people on our Facebook page, but we're organically growing because I don't want 25,000 people with no one seeing our stuff. I'd rather have 2,000 with a lot of interaction. Some of our posts we put out, we can get 80, 90,000 hits on them, depending what it is, what people like, especially on the bikers with the image of the bikes. They're getting phenomenal hits on their stuff. So, it's not always a numbers game from that point of view, is it? But you're right, it's definitely a numbers game. Same as leaflet drops, isn't it? People think that's a waste of time, but still, I think the statistics are like 1% in it. Is it 1 or 2% payback return on investment for leaflet drops?
Yeah, it's about right. Well, the commission I get, yeah, it is about 1%. Yeah.
No. I didn't mean that. I meant for we're talking about it's a numbers game. So people leaflets, put leaflets through people's doors.
Like the leaflet dropping, yeah, it probably is something like that. Yeah, it's not going to be anything to write home about, is it?
No, but it's still, like I say, it's a numbers game, isn't it? So the more if you're putting 10 million leaflets out and you get 1% of 10 million, it's not a bad hit, is it? It's not a bad hit rate.
No, it's not at all. So. And just going back to because we sort of got sidetracked a little bit. I was going through the sales process.
You was, mate. That's what happens on this show, mate. That's what happens on this show. Because what you do is you don't just get one story. You get one free. Go on, carry on. I'm turning my mic off.
Pay now, buy now, pay later. Right. So. You've got the prospecting part. That's the first section, isn't it? So that once you get the bit of interest going, and then you need to do the rapport building. So that's where you actually start to build a bit of a relationship with somebody, and then you might move on to the sort of closing aspect of it. But you've also got like following up with people that, do you know what I mean, that aren't warm straight away. There's so many different levels of it. Before you actually jump into you don't just dive in and try and sell things straight away. A lot of people make mistake of doing if they're new to sales is spamming people all the time and just hitting them with a pitch straight away. So you connect with someone on Facebook or you connect with someone on LinkedIn and you're straight attacking them with a sales pitch or a spam, you know what I mean, promoting your offers. And it's like, wow, that's like so never. I mean, you might get one in every 100 people buy from you, but you've got 99 people you've just pissed off. It's kind of say that's right, or you just made them angry. Like
that, people won't even you won't even notice that then. But no, you're right, because I get people on LinkedIn. They link up with me. Oh, I think wouldn't it be nice to link up with them? And then 2 seconds later, are you interested in this? Can I introduce you to this course? And do you know what I do? I send them back saying, would you like to advertise on Duggystone Radio? Just contact us on this number. Thanks very much. Do you know what? They never send me another one for some reason. I don't like. What's the point of doing that? What's the point of doing that? Would you like to do this? No, thanks. The best ones are I get emails about podcasting. Start your own podcast. Well, that's what I train, mate. Thanks. Cheers. See you later. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, carry on. I've interrupted you again.
No, it's all right. So that eventually, then you get to the funny thing is the bit that I find the most enjoyable part is actually closing the deal. A lot of people will actually steer away from that. They can't ask for money. But if you've got belief in yourself and your product and what you're selling, you shouldn't think twice about asking somebody for that money, because they're making an investment in something that's valuable to them. So there should never be any sort of dancing around and not wanting to ask for money. You should be 100% positive that they are going to buy it. When it comes to the close, you need to think they'll be silly not to purchase this now because it's good for them.
Yeah, well, I did that this morning, and it's good you're talking for this, because I've always struggled with all this sort of stuff. And the guy I spoke to today had a chat. This is what I'd like to do with you. You're probably bothered about this. Boom, boom, boom. And this is what I'd like to charge. This is what I charge. So if that fits with you, let me know. If it's not, then I'm fine. But you know where I am. And he's like, that doesn't sound an issue. Sounds absolutely fantastic. I'll come and see. Well, let's do something in 2 weeks' time. So there you go. Job done. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's all about confidence in your ability and what you're doing and what you represent.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like you say, you got to believe in your products. And I think a lot of people, I see this a lot of time, because my wife's a designer and artist as well as the other stuff she does. But I know loads of artists, and they produce amazing work, but they really struggle to sell it. Do you know what I mean? They know they like it, but they're not all confident about selling it. Like, get this sold, it's brilliant. It's weird, very strange. It's a very strange situation where I think I'm not sure if it's a UK thing, but because if you go to America, don't you? So it's all hoorah, I'm absolutely, the dogs, what's names? They've got a lot of self-belief and confidence, haven't they? Because it's been drilled into them at school and through the education and through their culture. Whereas ours is, oh no, don't stand out too much. You be good, don't do that, and sit down there and be quiet and all. So I think the people come out with less confidence. It's not good. It's not good for the society, really.
No, well, that's why I've got quite a lot of connections in America, and I'm trying to break that industry, because I'm trying to rep the UK for sales, because any sales trainer or anybody I followed in the world of sales, they're always American, and I'm thinking, I've had enough of this. We've got to get some more Brits standing up for our sales. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do at the moment, is rep the Brits. So
brilliant. Sounds amazing. Do you know what, mate? I've had an amazing chat with you. It's been really good. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you get on with your day, but I'd like to I think we'll have to have a chat offline, because I'm interested in a few things of what you've said. And right. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Now, before you came on air, we did mention, or I did ask you about a track. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you introduce. Where can people get hold of you? You said it once, but say it again anyway, just before you go.
Yeah, my Facebook group is probably the best one at the moment. I haven't got my website set up as of yet, but my Facebook group is called International Entrepreneurs and Coaching Community. Right. So yeah, if you like the sound of that, reach out to me on there. I mean, you can just look up John Molyneux. That's JOHNMOLYNEUX on Facebook. I can chat with you on there. So those are probably the easiest ways. Also, check out my podcast show, the Success Breeds Success Show, Spotify, and it should be available on other platforms soon. You can find it on SoundCloud at the moment as well if you use that.
Wonderful. And I'll put all them in the show notes. But anyway, the track you asked for, would you like to introduce it, sir? Would you like to introduce it?
I'd love to introduce it. It's A-Punk by Vampire Weekend.
The Duggystone Show.
Yeah, we couldn't play the track because of copyright laws. They don't like it, do they? Nasty people. But if you want to listen to the full show, including the music we played, well, go to duggystoneradio.com. That's DUGGYSTONE radio.com, and it'll be on there as a podcast. You've been listening to The Dougie Stone Show, recorded for Duggystone Radio. Internet-based radio goes out across the planet. We have all sorts of shows on, from blues to country to pop to rock to biker shows to reggae to business, everything, all under one umbrella. If you want to appear on one of the shows, send me a message, contact@duggystoneradio.com, and if I like what I see and hear, I'll get you on. If you're an emerging artist or you know anyone, get them to go to the Emerging Artists tab or the Artist Submission tab on Duggystone Radio. We go out on Alexa, just go Alexa, open internet radio, or you can go to the website and listen live. We also have apps you can download from smartphones. Just search DUGGYSTONE radio. Thanks for Sage Green HR. Get it right, Kirk, for sponsoring the show. If you want to sponsor the station, go over to us, send us a message. It's not as expensive you think, and we go out everywhere. Thanks for John for appearing on the show once again and imparting his information. Hey, you buy one, you get one free. Oh yeah. Please subscribe, and all the stuff should be in the show notes for your convenience. Please connect with John, connect with the station, check us out. You might find you like it. I do business shows currently twice a week, Tuesdays and a Thursday, 10 a.m. UK time. So don't forget, it's Duggystone Radio. We're not just local, we're freaking global, baby. Turning ideas into audio. Until next time, see ya!
Right.